Hey, what is going on, everybody? My name is Engaged Tutorials. Welcome back to another video. And I did my first mod on my car, as you can see by the title. And I know a lot of you guys wanted me to upload videos on the car, so I'm going to be doing that. And there is much more to come. Don't worry about that. But today we're going to be plasti dipping the badges or emblems on the car. I'm going to show you how to do it. My steps on how to do it the best way that I can. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting off, what you kind of want to do is kind of clean the badges or emblems the best you can. What I did was actually took some cotton swabs, got them a little damp, and then cleaned the edges of the emblems, try and get some extra dirt off of there, just to be safe in case the plasti dip will not stick to certain dirt or anything like that. So just go ahead and do that. Let it dry. Make sure it's 100% dry before you actually apply a plasti dip. But go ahead and do that to all your emblems. Try to get in there and do the best you can. So now what we want to do is kind of tape off about an inch or so away from the emblems. It doesn't really matter how far it is. It doesn't need to be perfect, a straight line, or anything like that. But just go ahead and tape it off because we don't really want a lot of overspray. Now obviously this is plasti dip, so it's really easy to take off of unwanted areas. But just to make your work a little less annoying, if you will. So go ahead and tape off kind of a square around the emblems, and then we'll add some newspaper or paper after that, which I will show you as well. So now that we got a square taped off, we're going to add some paper to eliminate some bad overspray, which is always a good thing. Once again, it's less work for you, so go ahead and tape off parts of the car that you don't want to overspray onto. So as you can see, we got a nice little outline for the paper here. That's what I did. You could add a little more because a little bit of plasti dip got down on the bumper on the bottom left. As you can see, that little gap. So you can add as much as you want or as little as you want. So now it's time to start plasti dipping. So go ahead and shake the plasti dip up, and what you want to do is bring it back about 4 inches away from the emblems or where you want to spray. I ended up getting way too close because I was standing behind the camera and I couldn't really get a good angle on it, but that's okay. It still came out great, so that's how you know it's not that big of a deal, even if you do end up spraying too close. Just go ahead and just spray a little bit away. As you can see, I put too much on and I got a little too close. As you can see, the drips, but I started to eventually get it down. Like I was saying, this is my first time doing a plasti dip, but there is our first coat. You want to go about 50% opacity, so add about 50% on. You want to still be able to see some gray, which I will show you on the other emblem that I did correctly. So there's our first coat. Now we just have to wait for that to dry. After you let it dry for about 10 to 15 minutes, you can come back and do another coat. And then with this, you want to go at different angles. So as you can see, we kind of went head on for the first coat. Now we're going to do it up top. So if we spray it, you just want to go along like pointing down at it so you can get above the emblems. And then for the next coat, you want to do it under, because as you can see under the all-wheel drive symbol, you can still see blue. So you want to do it from under and then from the left and the right. And just get about 4 or 5 coats on there. As many as you want, really. It doesn't really matter. On the can, it even says apply as many coats as you'd like, so you can go ahead and do that. So the left side is currently drying. We're going to add our first coat to the other side. It's all taped off and ready to go. And now you want to do is just apply a little bit, 50% opacity, about that. As you can see on this one, you can still see the chrome on the emblem, unlike the last one where it was completely blacked out. So get your first coat going, make sure it's a little light, and let it dry for about 5 to 10 minutes. So after you apply all your coats, going in from different angles, about 5 to 6 coats in total, let it fully dry. Give it about 30 minutes or so. Just make sure it's fully dry. And then I'd recommend removing the tape around it. Just remove the tape, and then we can get a hold of the plasti dip later. So that's what I recommend doing anyway, because it worked better on the right side of the emblems where it says Impreza WRX. So go ahead and remove the tape, and then we can start peeling. And this was the one thing I was talking about. Try to remove the tape first. Just unhook the plasti dip from the tape and just take the tape off first, so you have more leverage around the plasti dip in general. And now what you can actually do is just start peeling around the letters and stuff. Take your time. Try to get as much off as possible. so you don't have to use a lot with our trusty toothpick, which I will show you later to get inside of the letters and stuff. But see, I was trying to get the tape along with it, but that wasn't working too good. But I got most of it off anyway. It still ended up coming out great. So there's no real rule to peeling the Plasti Dip. Just do it slow and try to get as much off as you can. And once you get it all removed, there will still be extra, like inside the letters. As you can see, the D in all-wheel drive, the A, in between some of the letters. There will be some left no matter how good you do of getting it all off, unless you have easy letters. I'm not really sure. But that brings us to this next part here, which I will show you. You will need some kind of tool, like a toothpick, preferably a regular toothpick, not a flat toothpick. Just go ahead and grab yourself a toothpick. Now, you can't really see anything here because I'm in the way, but to work the Plasti Dip out of the letters, take your toothpick or whatever tool you're using, preferably a toothpick, and kind of work the Plasti Dip from around the edges. So go to an edge and pull down, and it'll bring the Plasti Dip away from it, and it'll start rolling up. And then just do that to all edges, try to roll it up, and then get it out of there. And, you know, it does take a little bit of time. You want to try to get it perfect without ripping it off the emblem, but it should come out really nicely as long as you have a good toothpick. The toothpicks I were using sucked, to be honest. They were like flat-headed toothpicks and didn't work too good, so just get yourself some regular toothpicks and you will be good to go. And as you can see, the Plasti Dip in between the A and the W, that easily comes off here. Just all you got to do is roll it. And my toothpick broke a couple of times, but that's okay. Eventually got it out of there, and it was looking good. So now it's time to actually peel the other side, because that's all dried up. Did my coats different directions and let it dry fully. Now we can start ripping this one off. And I tell you, man, this is like the best part of Plasti Dipping, is ripping it off and letting it peel off. It's just so satisfying. I don't know why. It's kind of like taking the new laminate clear stickers off of new devices and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun. The worst part about Plasti Dipping, in my opinion, is getting it out of the letters. But you won't have to have that problem with everything, because the next thing I'm going to Plasti Dip is my trunk trim. So that'll be much easier. But yeah, here it is. And as you can see, you can kind of roll it. My hands were a little sweaty, so it wasn't working at first, but there it is. You can roll it back and start peeling this side. And once you get it all off, go ahead and take your toothpick and get it out of the letters. Make it look as nice as you can. And when it's all said and done, this is what we got. And we got a little bit of overspray, which I'll show you how to remove. And Impreza WRX, all blacked out, looking good. I messed up a couple of letters, and to get rid of the overspray, just get a microfiber towel or cloth. And then rub it off. It comes off real easy. Like I said, it's Plasti Dip. It's amazing. So it'll come off anywhere that you don't want it to stick to. So go ahead and rub that off. And here is the finished product. And you guys see that trunk trim right there? The trunk accent under the badge. I want to Plasti Dip that as well. I think that'll look good. But there's the finished product. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. And if you are still watching to the end, which I hope you are, let's do special word of the day. And today's special word of the day is Plasti. So put Plasti in the comments below. And until next time, guys, I will see you in another video.